Let's stop pretending. You're not stuck. You're not confused. You're not unmotivated. You're comfortable. And that comfort is killing your dreams. It's not the world holding you back. It's not your boss. It's not your schedule. It's not your past. It's the soft voice in your head that whispers, "Take it easy. Don't push too hard. You're doing fine." That voice? It's a liar. A clever, persuasive liar. It sounds like love, but it's death in disguise. You think comfort is relief, but what it really is slow spiritual suffocation. Every dream, every goal, every ounce of untapped greatness is dying in the shadow of your comfort. You know it. You feel it. The pressure, the friction, the dissonance between the life you tolerate and the one that still haunts you when the room gets quiet. You weren't born for this. You weren't made to sit in routines, to repeat safe days, to live life at 30% volume. You were built to stretch, to break, to burn, to rise again and again until you've become the person your dream requires. But comfort won't let you. Comfort wants you soft. Comfort wants you slow. Comfort wants you forgettable. And if you keep obeying it, that's exactly what you'll become. Comfort sells a lie, a very expensive lie, that you can grow without pain, that you can win without risk, that you can change without cost. But life doesn't work like that. Not real life, not meaningful life. Every level of success comes with a toll, a sacrifice, a shedding of skin, a confrontation with your limits. Comfort doesn't want that for you. Comfort wants you tamed, obedient, predictable, dull. It lures you with convenience, with little dopamine hits, with ease. Rest a little longer. Skip today. Try again tomorrow. But tomorrow is how people die, not physically, spiritually. They die inside long before the body ever does. Comfort doesn't just steal progress, it steals identity. It turns warriors into worriers, creators into consumers, leaders into followers, and most never see it happen because it happens slowly. A few skipped reps, a few snoozed alarms, a few days without urgency. Then it becomes who you are. You don't recognize yourself anymore. You can't look in the mirror without flinching. Because deep down, you know, you chose soft, and soft is not who you came here to be. Comfort hides in the ordinary. It wraps itself in routines. It makes average feel safe, even noble. But here's what it never tells you. Comfort is a thief with perfect manners. It steals time while smiling. It drains power while soothing. It erodes purpose while rewarding you with ease. By the time you realize what it's taken, you're already years behind the person you could have been. And that's the most painful truth of all. You could have done more. There's a gap between where you are and where you could be. That gap has a name: discipline. Not motivation, not luck, not timing. Discipline. The uncomfortable, daily, unrelenting act of doing what's hard, especially when you don't feel like it. 1% live here. They don't escape discomfort. They hunt it. They seek it like oxygen. Because they understand a fundamental truth. The dream only becomes real on the other side of comfort. You want power? Live in discomfort. You want clarity? Move through resistance. You want identity shift? Build it one brutal rep at a time. Discipline isn't punishment. It's freedom in disguise. Every time you show up when you don't feel like it, you cast a vote for the future you. Every time you train tired, you separate yourself from 99% of the planet. Every time you do the hard thing without applause, you prove you're not here for validation. You're here to build something real. And the more disciplined you become, the more dangerous you become. Why? Because nothing can move you. Not boredom, not fatigue, not fear. You become unshakable. And in this world, that kind of person wins. The life you want doesn't respond to who you've been. It answers to who you're willing to become. And that version of you, they don't live in comfort. They live in truth. They live in standards. They live in execution. Your dream doesn't care about your excuses. It doesn't care about your story. It doesn't care how many times you've failed. It only asks one thing. Are you ready to pay the price? Because there is no discount, no shortcut, no bypass around discomfort. You either do the work or you watch someone else do it. You either get up today and build or you spend another year talking about it. There is no neutral ground. You are either growing or you are slowly rotting in a comfort zone disguised as fine. So enough with fine, enough with comfort, enough with waiting. It ends here. The version of you that avoids pain, that hides behind planning, that gets excited but never commits, that version dies now. Because what you want is on the other side of war, a war with yourself, and the only weapon strong enough to win that war, relentless, ruthless discipline, built daily, and it starts today. Comfort isn't just a feeling. It's an identity. It's a mental costume you've worn for years. And now it fits too well. You built a routine around it, a worldview, a personality, a schedule. Now you protect it without even realizing it. You avoid things that threaten it. You reject people who challenge it. You justify anything that keeps it intact, because the comfort identity wants to survive, even if your dreams have to die. But here's the truth. You cannot build an extraordinary life with an average identity. You can't install new results without uninstalling the man who avoids pressure. The version of you that delays decisions, he has to go. The one that scrolls more than he studies, gone. The one that needs a perfect plan before taking one step, bury him. Because dreams are not handed out. They are claimed, violently, by people who refuse to stay comfortable. This is not about tweaking habits. It's about killing identities and replacing them with versions forged in fire. That fire is pain. That fire is embarrassment. That fire is doing what scares you so often. It becomes your new normal. You don't get to feel like the new you before you act like him. You act like him first. And eventually your nervous system catches up. You want the shift? Here it is. Raise your standards, ruthlessly, and stop negotiating with them. Most people treat their standards like suggestions. They act like it's okay to miss, to bend, to justify. But high performers, their standards are law. They don't say, I'll try to wake up early. They say, I'm up at 4 a.m., or I lose. They don't say, I'll try to eat clean. They say, I fuel like a machine. Period, no debate, no flexibility, no softness. Because when your standard becomes a non-negotiable, everything changes. Your mind stops asking, do I feel like it? And starts asking, how do I execute it? That shift, from emotion to principle, is what separates average from elite. Comfort lives in negotiation. Discipline lives in decision. So set new standards. Then defend them like your life depends on it, because it does. Here's a brutal truth most avoid. You will never become great without pressure. You want mental strength? Apply pressure. You want emotional control? Walk through chaos. You want relentless focus? Strip away every distraction and force yourself to execute. Stop avoiding pressure. Build tolerance to it. Comfort teaches you to run from stress. High performance teaches you to become bulletproof inside it. You don't rise when things are easy. You rise when everything in your body says quit. And you still move. You need to make pressure normal. Make difficulty routine. Make obstacles expected. That's when your system adapts. That's when your identity catches up. You want confidence? It's not a feeling. It's a side effect, a result. Confidence is earned by keeping promises in high-pressure environments. Confidence is created when you do what scares you and survive it. And the more pressure you can handle, the more life starts to obey you, because life doesn't respect the comfortable. It rewards the resilient. If you want to become unstoppable, you must master your state. That means emotional neutrality. Because comfort has trained you to be reactive. You feel tired, you quit. You feel stressed, you escape. You feel bored, you numb. That's weakness. That's slavery. That's the life of the 99%. The elite don't obey emotions. They observe them. They regulate them. They override them. They don't need to feel confident to act with certainty. They don't need to feel motivated to execute their plan. They don't need to feel fearless to step into risk. Because they understand, the body obeys the mind, and the mind obeys structure, not feeling. So stop asking how you feel. Start asking what the mission requires. Stop measuring moods. Start measuring output. The ability to move forward without emotional permission. That's the beginning of real power. You don't need a better plan. You need a better rhythm. Forget perfection. Forget breakthroughs. You need brutal consistency. Every single day, there must be execution. Wake up. Train. Building repeat. No matter how you feel, no matter who notices, no matter if it's working yet, this is the game. Your nervous system adapts to what you repeatedly do. So if you repeatedly quit, it learns quitting. If you repeatedly delay, it normalizes hesitation. If you repeatedly attack your plan regardless of emotion, it wires in dominance. This is why most people never change. They're consistent with their excuses, consistent with their old triggers, consistent with their low standards. But if you flip that, if you become religious about routine, if you attach your identity to doing hard things daily, then nothing can stop you. Because it's no longer what you do, it's who you are. Comfort didn't show up all at once. It crept in slowly, day by day, skipped rep by skipped rep, compromise by compromise. But now you see it. Now you're aware. And awareness demands action. So what's it going to be? Stay in the warmth of mediocrity? Or step into the cold pressure that forges killers? Continue pretending you're working on it? Or declare right now that this version of you is done? The clock doesn't care how you feel. The dream doesn't care how long it takes. But your soul does. And if you ignore it long enough, it will go silent. That's the real cost of comfort. Not just lost time. Lost self. So fight. Climb. Rebuild. Execute. Because discomfort is not the enemy. It's the gatekeeper to everything you want. This is it. The point of no return. The final line between who you were and who you were meant to become. Comfort can't follow you here. It dies in the presence of real commitment. So ask yourself, have you been changing or just circling? Have you been building or just talking? Have you been executing or just feeling busy? Because the 1% know something most never learn. Change doesn't happen until you burn the bridge behind you. No backup plan. No soft landing. No, let's see how this goes. Just one decision. I'm done living this way. And then the action that proves it. Not someday. Not after one more video. Now you are not becoming disciplined. You are disciplined. You are not trying to improve. You have already decided. That's the shift. That's the line. And most never cross it. They'll watch. They'll wait. They'll wish. But you move. Look around you. Most people are waiting. Waiting for someone to inspire them. Waiting for the world to change. Waiting for perfect timing. But leaders don't wait. They become. They create motion. You don't rise when the world supports you. You rise when you decide that no matter what's happening, you are still moving forward. That kind of person is rare, because it's costly. It requires silence, discipline, sacrifice. It requires showing up with zero applause and total conviction. But when you become that person, everything obeys you. Your habits shift, your emotions realign, your surroundings bend, your results explode. Because success doesn't follow effort, It follows identity. Comfort told you to chase the dream. Discipline teaches you to become the dream. You don't chase freedom. You embody it. You don't chase power. You train it. You don't chase success. You install the mindset that makes it inevitable. That's the new you. No softness. No waiting. Just deliberate, disciplined, daily execution. This is the death trap that kills more potential than failure ever will. Waiting to feel ready. You think you need more time. You think you need to feel confident. You think clarity comes first. It doesn't. Action comes first. You take the step. You feel unsure. You get hit. You learn. You adjust. You sharpen. That's the process, and most will never start it, because they worship the illusion of perfect readiness, but not you. You're done waiting. You don't need another course. You don't need another breakthrough. You don't need a sign. You just need a standard, a line that says, "This is who I am now, and anything less is rejected." That's what separates the 1%. That's what makes them untouchable. You want to know the real win? It's not the money. It's not the fame. It's not the praise. It's becoming the kind of person who can never go back. You've tasted the power of discipline. You've felt the strength of self-respect. You've walked through discomfort and come out harder, wiser, sharper. Now that version of you must become permanent. You don't try to be disciplined anymore. It's wired in. You don't hope for consistency. It's your default setting. You don't shrink under pressure. You expand, you lead, you dominate, because you've paid the price. And now you wear the armor. You don't flinch when it's hard. You've been here before. You're trained for this. So you move, you build, you command, and you never, ever return to softness.